everyone, this is Fanny. Welcome to my channel. Today we had a Twine It Up monthly challenge with the special co-host Michelle Cosihome. We also have a special playlist right down my description box below, so make sure you go and check it out and get a lot of inspiration using twine. So let's twine it up. So for the first project, you will need twine as a main item. So here I'm showing two different kinds, scissor twine and jute twine. So for this project, I also going to be using some dowels, big dowels from Walmart, some charger plates from Dollar Tree, and some recycled TASSELS caps. Also bamboo skewers and some leftover foam. Now I'm going to use the coaster to trace it down to little circles and then use the sack cutter to cut them. So once I had the circle cut, I'm going to be saving one for later on, and other one I'm just going to use some hot glue and place it right on the middle of the charger plate. Now I'm going to be placing the skewers on the circle that we just glued on the plate. So now just poke it on it and there you have it. Alright, I'm going to continue doing that, and at the same time adding that's the hot glue to keep it in place. So once I did the first row, I cut the excess, and then the extra I just placed it in between the spaces, and I ended up with something like that. Now I'm going to be using the twine and basically fill it up the entire circle. Now that we have the center complete, we're going to start to waving the twine on the skewers. So here I'm just going to do a closer view so you can see what I'm doing. So I'm leaving one skewer in between and then just keep repeating the same step. Alright, once you have some amount of waving like that, now we're going to add more twine. So now we're going to be changing waving, so it's kind of hard to explain this step, so I'm going to leave the video explain it for me. And look how beautiful that looks already. So now I'm going to be adding more twine, but this time thicker twine, and we're going to be changing waving as well. So once I have done like 6 rounds until I complete the gap in between the plate, now I'm just going to be wrapping around normal until I complete the entire plate, as you can see. Alright, I know this project looks like a lot of work, but yes, it does take a lot of time, but I promise you the results are amazing. This project came out absolutely beautiful. I just can't wait to share with you the rest. Alright, once I have finished the entire plate, you can see that we still have the gap, but the idea was to cover the bottle so won't show so much the color of the plate. You can also spray paint it before. So now I'm going to use the silicone mat to make little circles. So as you can see, I placed the hot glue and I started twisting around until I got the circles that I want. So I made a bunch of those. Now I'm just going to be adding some hot glue and place it around where we had the gap. And look at that. I think it looks beautiful already. So we're going to leave that plate on the side for a little bit, and we're going to start wrapping around more twine on the silicone mat to start to cover the other charger plate. So with this one, I'm basically going to wrap around the entire plate just like so. Right, when I went to the other side of the plate, I'm just going to be using some burlap fabric and place it on. So I just used leftovers and I just cut it. Now I'm just going to be add some hot glue and voila. Alright, I like to have a nice finished look, so I'm going to be using more twine to cover the edges, and there you have. Next, I'm just going to be using the lighter just to burn those little fuzzy things on the twine. I just love the color that lighter give them, and also love the smell. Look how beautiful. So now with one of the plates, I'm going to be using that specific tool and I'm going to be making some holes on it. But you can also use the pointy bar of the glue gun to do this process. Alright, we're going to leave that plate on the side for a little bit and I'm going to use the big dowels, and basically what I'm going to be doing in here is wrap them around with twine. So I will be doing that with 4 of them. Alright, we have all the pieces ready to go. So as you can see, what I'm going to be doing in here is like a little table or a little two-tier tray. So yeah, but before I start attaching all the pieces together, I'm going to be placing those wooden cups as a feet. So next I'm just going to be adding some hot glue in each dowel and place it on it, and then I'm going to reinforce them using another piece of twine and place it through the holes that we did, and wrapping around a couple times and make double knots. So next I'm going to be attaching all the ends of the dowels together. So next, to be able to create a flat surface on the top, I add a little cube and then pieces of popsicle sticks that I have around. So then I'm just going to be cutting the excess of the twine and also adding more hot glue around just to make sure that that little table don't go anywhere. So once I was ready to place the top part, I went ahead and add a lot of hot glue and place it on it. But you can also use E6000 or other kind of glue. And that is it for this one. I think it came out absolutely beautiful. But I always want to know, what do you guys think? Next project, you will need a cardboard box, any box you have around. So some twine, and now I'm just going to be trace it down and mark it out where I'm going to cut. So once I had it ready to cut, I use the box cutter. So we're going to use the bottom part of the box. I'm going to bring back the twine, and I'm basically going to cut long strings. The length of the strings will be depending of the size of your box. So here I'm basically double size depending on my box. So once I had all the strings cut, now I'm going to be placing on the bottom of the box. So now we basically have the base of the basket. So I'm going to be using a different twine, a little bit thicker, to start weaving. So I choose this pattern. I thought was really cute to do. I think for beginners like me, this one is easier. So I will continue to doing that into halfway of the box. Then carefully I'm going to flip the bags to be able to remove the bags of the basket. So once I have removed the cardboard bags, we're going to tie the leftover strings. So what I'm going to be doing in here is just simple knots to just try to keep the basket together. As you can see, it's flimsy because we don't have any bags anymore. So I'm going to keep all those strings together just by making simple knots all around, just like so. So now I can work better with the rest of the strings. So as you can see, I grab both sizes and make like little ponytails to be able to work better with. Now, with the tails that I just did, I'm going to be creating a handle. So I add a piece of twine just to keep it in place, and then little by little I'm going to start wrapping around the entire handle with the thicker twine. We have a handle now, but I will still have a lot of leftover strings. So with those strings, I'm going to be making a cute little tassels, just like so. Start to look like a basket, right? So now I'm going to be cover the inside of the little basket using some burlap fabric from burlapfabric.com. I will have all the links on my description box below in case you are interested. So as I said, I'm going to be cutting a couple pieces, and I'm going to start just covering the edges of the basket first, and then cut an extra piece to cover the bottom part. So the little basket is covered inside, but it still look messy on the bottom. So I'm going to cover the entire bottom using twine. And at this point, I think the basket looks cute already, but I still have little details to cover. So I went over and grabbed a needle and start to sew in the edges just to have better finished look and not be worried about some strings poking out. And I also went back with the handle and add more twine around just to make the handle a little bit sturdy. And for the final touch, I decided to make the little tassels more fuzzy, so I opened the strings and then went over with a little brush, and voila, there you have it. And that is it for this one. I just add a little greenery and a little candle on it. like a LED candle, and I think it looks so cute. I just love it. I love baskets in general. I have baskets all over the house for organizing, for decorations, for everything. So let me know what you guys think. Before to move on to the next DIY, I want to thank you all for your continued support and love to my channel. So if this is your first time here, thank you so much for stopping by and welcome. So the next project, I'm going to be recycle some items that I have around the house, some little lights and a little canvas. So for this project, I'm going to be using the thicker twine. So I'm going to wrap the entire little frame. So I like to start by adding a little bit of hot glue on the bottom part first, and then just continue wrapping around and just adding dots of hot glue here and there just to keep the twine straight. So we had the frame cover the edges and also the inside part too. But at the bottom part of the frame it still needs some help. So I'm going to be using some leftover burlap fabric, and then on top I'm going to be placing another piece of fabric just to have better finished look and cover the paint on it. Then I'm going to be adding some ribbon also from burlap fabric and place it on the edges to have better finished look. So now we have the base of the lantern, as you can see, and now I'm going to be wrapping around those Easter basket handles with the twine. You can see I wrap one of them with a different twine only because I want to have a different contrast on the lantern, so I use the sisal twine for one stripe. Right, so once I was ready with the stripes, I also add some ribbon right on the bottom just to have better finished look and also match with the frame. Once I was ready with the stripes, I went ahead and just placed it on the frame. And we almost done in here with the lantern. I'm just going to be adding more twine on the top just for reinforcement. And that is it for the lantern. So now we're going to leave it on the side just for a little bit, and we're going to be working with the inside part. So with the little recycle jar and the little lines, with the little recycle jar, I'm just going to be adding the fairy lights inside, and then basically what I'm going to be doing in here is trying to cover the battery pack or battery holder. So I'm going to start first just mark it down how high is the battery pack just by adding a little piece of ribbon. Then I'm going to be using the sisal twine to match with my lantern and just wrap around the bottom part of the jar just like so. And then I'm just going to be adding more ribbon right on the bottom just to add more details, and for the final touch, a little bow right on the top, and voila. So that is it for this one. I think it came out absolutely beautiful, and nobody would know that that lantern was made of recycled items. And that is it for today. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please give you a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and also don't forget to go and check it out, the playlist, and get tons of inspirations. God bless you all, and see you guys next time. Ciao, ciao.